TV ya.
The incident occurred on the 22nd of July 2024 in Fond du Lac County, Wisconsin, when police discovered a stolen SUV and signaled for it to stop. But, instead of pulling over, the driver made a reckless decision, accelerating and fleeing. The suspect accelerated and fled, leading officers on a miles-long chase. The SUV weaved through traffic, ignoring commands and putting multiple drivers at risk. As the pursuit continued, officers coordinated their response, waiting for the right moment to safely end the chase.
Parking lot going over the grass. Going around the church on the grass. They're coming back out to the road.
The vehicle suddenly accelerated, triggering a pursuit that stretched for miles. It sped into a residential area despite multiple police units attempting to block its path. The suspect recklessly kept the pedal down, swerving across lawns and weaving around people's homes.
We're at the intersection, Bracer. Going the wrong way on Johnson.
That moment came when a deputy executed a precision PIT maneuver. The SUV lost control, spun out, and came to a stop on the roadside. Officers immediately moved in, ordering the occupants out of the vehicle. Both suspects were taken into custody without further incident. The vehicle was confirmed to be stolen. Both individuals now face multiple charges related to fleeing law enforcement and possession of stolen property. Despite the dangerous nature of the pursuit, no injuries were reported. A chase that stretched for miles ended in seconds once the suspect ran out of road. On the 10th of October, 2022, in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, officers attempted to stop a black vehicle for reckless driving. What should have been a simple traffic stop quickly turned into a short but tense pursuit.
Falling into the 134th Ave apartment lot. Reason for stop, reckless driving. Going through the back alley. 6-2 will be coming out on 2nd Street. It looks like it's occupied 3 times. 3 black males. Put your hands up! City 62 at 1050, they just ran into a fence. We'll be in the back alley. Send additional units. Stop the car!
City 62.
Stop the car!
City 75.
Stop the
City
car!
66.
Put your hands out the window! Turn the car off! Turn the car off! Stay in the car! Turn the car off! Put your hands where I can see them! Put your hands out the window now!
I got the year not to city.
Do not move! Keep your hands...
The driver refused to stop and sped into a narrow alley behind an apartment complex on Forest Street. The speed wasn't high, around 16 miles per hour, but the tight space made the situation especially dangerous. Police units stayed close behind as the vehicle searched for a way out. As the suspect attempted to turn out of the alley, a patrol car deliberately struck the rear of the vehicle. The impact sent the car into a fence, bringing it to an immediate stop. Officers quickly initiated a high-risk arrest procedure. One individual exited the vehicle, while the driver continued attempting to flee.
They just hit my squad, they backed into it. They're all running out of the car. Stay in the car! Stay in the car!
Now they're taking off on Southern Road. They're leaving trouble. Copy that. 151 copy.
As the suspect attempted to break out onto a main road, multiple police units quickly formed a perimeter, leaving no chance of escape. Several vehicles converged at once, boxing the car in with no room to maneuver. Officers then ordered everyone inside to exit the vehicle. After a brief but tense standoff, the suspects stepped out one by one, lay face down on the ground as instructed, and were taken into custody in handcuffs. On the 31st of December 2022, an incident unfolded in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. It began on city streets and extended onto Interstate 41 I-41 near the Love's Travel Center, where officers identified a stolen vehicle. The occupants included a 32-year-old man from Milwaukee and a 41-year-old woman. Police attempted to initiate a traffic stop on the stolen car. What seemed like a routine situation quickly escalated into a complex, multi-phase pursuit.
Vehicle's taking off westbound. I still have 2 out of the car.
Copy.
Come on the on-ramp going west, whip around, and then come back up.
We're going to military right now. Just going past the car wash, please.
5-4, I'm on military. You can let me know which way.
5-4, we're going through. We're going to be south on military. South on military.
It's cool in here. Should the ball be in at the very least substantial batteries. Domestic, so I'm looking for fuel. I got big South on 41 from Hickory. There was nothing in a con.
We're going. I'll take over going.
The vehicle tore through multiple city streets, accelerating aggressively in a desperate attempt to evade police. The suspect pushed speeds up to 100 miles per hour, running red lights without regard for anyone on the road, creating a serious risk of a crash. Once on the highway, the driving became even more reckless and aggressive as the pursuit continued to intensify.
Copy, northbound 11.
Turning into Love's right now.
Getting in this parking lot.
Going around the backside.
Locked in the parking lot. See there, black man.
the pursuit came to a violent end near a Love's Travel Center. The suspect vehicle slammed head-on into a deputy's squad car. Both vehicles were heavily damaged. Despite the impact, no injuries were reported. The driver, a 32-year-old man from Milwaukee, was taken into custody at the scene. 3 individuals in total were arrested across both phases of the incident. The vehicle was confirmed stolen, and the driver now faces multiple serious charges related to fleeing, vehicle theft, and the collision with law enforcement. A pursuit that should have ended early escalated twice and ended in a crash that could have been far worse. On the 28th of September 2024, a routine traffic stop in Jonesboro, Arkansas, quickly spiraled out of control when state police spotted a gray Dodge Ram 1500 traveling at an extremely high rate of speed. Clocked at over 110 miles per hour, the driver refused to stop, turning a simple speeding violation into a dangerous high-speed pursuit. The pursuit continued through multiple areas as the suspect maintained high speed and ignored all commands. Troopers tracked the vehicle as it moved toward the Highland Apartments, with the risk steadily increasing due to the combination of speed, traffic exposure, and proximity to a residential complex. As the situation developed, the need to end the pursuit became critical.
TVI. Roll over.
10 forward 20.
IUD.
And into your hands. Sir.
Near the Highland Apartments, the trooper executed a TVI maneuver to disable the vehicle. The impact caused the Dodge Ram to lose control, tip onto its side, strike a light pole, and come to a stop directly in front of the apartment area. Troopers approached the overturned truck with weapons drawn, issuing repeated commands for the driver to show his hands and exit the vehicle. Due to the vehicle being on its side and the doors locked, removing the driver took time before he was secured. When questioned, the driver claimed he did nothing wrong, despite evidence of excessive speed and fleeing. Medical personnel were called to evaluate the driver following the crash. What started as a speeding violation at 110 miles per hour ended with a flipped truck in front of a residential complex, showing that once a driver commits to running at extreme speed, the outcome is no longer unpredictable, it's inevitable. On March 25, 2023, in Atlanta, Georgia, what began as a coordinated surveillance quickly escalated when an undercover Atlanta police unit identified a stolen silver Mercedes-Benz GLA. As the vehicle entered I-20 at high speed, Georgia State Patrol units moved in to intercept, but the driver refused to stop, initiating a pursuit.
Taking a right on McDaniel again. Come on. Southbound McDaniel.
The suspect drove aggressively, weaving through traffic at excessive speeds and nearly causing multiple collisions. The pursuit moved from 120 onto city streets, including McDaniel Street, University Avenue, and Metropolitan Parkway. The driver ran red lights, passed vehicles in oncoming lanes, and even cut through private property, narrowly missing a pedestrian. As traffic thickened, the situation became increasingly unstable, with the suspect continuing reckless maneuvers despite growing risk.
Passing Malin Ave. That should be all
about this. This is just not going to go down.
The pursuit reached its breaking point when the Mercedes struck another vehicle from behind, then crossed into oncoming traffic and caused a violent chain reaction crash involving multiple vehicles. The impact sent the stolen SUV out of control, striking several more cars before rolling over and coming to a stop. Immediately after the crash, the driver and a female passenger fled on foot. Officers quickly established a perimeter with assistance from aviation units. The suspect attempted to evade capture by discarding his clothing and hiding in a nearby residential area, but was later located and detained after reappearing nearby. On October 9, 2025, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, what began as a routine traffic incident quickly escalated when an off-duty police officer was rear-ended by a black Chrysler 300 at an intersection. Instead of stopping, the Chrysler fled the scene, prompting the officer to follow in an attempt to document the vehicle. Immediately after being attacked, the officer drew his service weapon and fired multiple rounds in self-defense. The suspect was struck and collapsed beside his vehicle. The officer maintained a ready position, issuing repeated commands for the suspect to stay still and not move while awaiting backup. Within minutes, Milwaukee police units and medical personnel arrived on scene. The suspect was transported to the hospital in critical condition, while the officer was treated for a head injury sustained after being struck with a firearm. In 2021, in Minnesota, officers attempted to stop a stolen Toyota Sienna for speeding. Instead of complying, the driver accelerated, reaching speeds near 80 miles per hour while fleeing through residential areas and near school zones. What began as a traffic stop immediately turned into a high-risk pursuit.
State Patrol has me. He's coming right towards your car on the right-hand shoulder, northbound, just over Minnetonka. Whoever's southbound.
Door up for you. Can you grab 08 in Jordan Avenue? If that's having the crash, Peter and Jordan. 12 to 6.
Keep up! Okay. Let's get him. Let's get him secured right now. Get it and check on the other people. Crawl in the car. Get out the car, man. Let's go. Move. Come on. Come on. You can move. You got out of the car. Move. Go over. Over. Roll over. Roll over. This one.
Let's go. I just was doing.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like
I'm missing a leg.
missing a leg. Okay. All right. Back is hurting. Okay. Where's it hurt? Where's it hurt?
My
Man?
lower back.
Lower back hurt.
Yes,
Does that hurt? What does that hurt? Okay. What? How would it feel more? How would it feel better? On your back? On your back? You're cold? Okay.
After exiting the highway, the suspect vehicle was involved in a violent head-on collision at the intersection of Cedar Lake Road and Jordan Avenue. Both vehicles were completely destroyed, with smoke and debris filling the scene. Officers quickly moved in, ordering the driver of the stolen vehicle to crawl out of the wreckage and took him into custody. At the same time, officers immediately checked on the innocent occupants of the other vehicle. The victim was reported to be suffering from lower back and leg pain. Fire and EMS units were dispatched to the scene to rescue those trapped inside the vehicles.